Welcome back to Eagles Draft Central, where we're going to take a look at things that are connected with the Eagles and building up to the April draft. It's less than a month now to go, and we're going to look at all things from the prospects that have been coming in and out of the doors and that we interviewed at the Combine as well, all the way to a trade that could help the recent draft picks on the defensive side of the ball. What's up, it's your boy Cintron coming back at you with another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's the real name. Eagles 2024 NFL Prospect Visit Tracker. So we've been putting a chip in these guys and following them along. But just, all jokes aside, these guys have been getting some frequent flyer miles or been getting some burn in the interview room. So Cooper Beebe, old lineman out of Kansas State, 6'3", 322. So that body build will tell you that they're probably going to slot him in at guard. He's played left tackle, left guard, and right guard, everything but center. But he probably could do that. Squatty body type, definitely has the strength, but he could definitely be a guy that would give us that power there on the right side next to Lane Johnson, and in between him and the Kelsey replacement in Cam Jurgens. And I'd like a bigger guy there, preferably, which is why I like Tyler Steen, but who knows if he'll be the guy to slot in there. But I know he'll be the guy that probably most likely get the first crack at the apple, kind of like Cam Jurgens did last year, and just to go to ran off with that race. But yeah, he can dominate. I like him. Day 2 guy, but I don't see it spending in that high of a pick. So Marshawn Nealon is a guy that I do like, though. Was leading the Reese Senior Bowl, leading the guys in D-line and speed. 19.8 miles per hour. So he's a guy that can get after it. Explosive, 6'3", 267. And a guy, hopefully in the 3rd round range, you would look to draft him, even though we don't have a pick there now. But I think he might go late 2nd to early 3rd. But he's got some good measurables comparable to a guy like Max Crosby. You love him. Had to get maybe 12.5 sacks last year. Such a beast there. Not good production, but a guy that could look to have a better career at the pro level. Anthony Smith, a guy who's explosive, 5'9", $190, wide receiver, but also has same running back history. He'd be a gadget guy, a guy that can maybe take the top off the defense. But I'm more worried about his consistency. Would he be able to give us a steady presence as a wide receiver too? Because we do have 2 guys he brought in, but they're more kind of like insurance policies, as we kind of double down on a lot of guys. Them giving us, the wherewithal to not have to be desperate and be thirsty out here in these streets, in these draft streets. But, we would look to upgrade if we could. And I don't see him as that. I just see him as a wide receiver 5, which we shouldn't really be pressing for. Edgerrin Cooper is a guy that I do like, though. One of the lead candidates at linebacker, him and Peyton Wilson, one of those 2 guys I believe are going to be the first linebackers coming off the board, or that's it high in the 2nd. They could squeak into the first, but I think Peyton Wilson would have the better chance to do so. But the only thing holding him back in that regard is his age, him being 24 years old, a 6 years prospect, as well as the ACL surgeries. Like, he's had 2 on his right knee, so and as well as some shoulder injuries that have held him up. But I think you couldn't go wrong with either linebacker bringing them in. And some people saying that Edgerrin might take a little bit longer to develop. But once he does get up to speed, man, he's going to be flying around. I think he just is such a playmaker. Just the raw energy reminds you of someone like a Fred Warner at the pro level. And you would love to have this guy in your core. I would love to have him redshirt here and then maybe be starting alongside Nakobe Dean next year. Zach Zinner, offensive guard at Michigan, 6'6", 309, kind of a slender guy. But, someone who, he's going to be pretty much, you're going to be getting what you get when you get him. And, he's okay athlete, but the guy just consistent. Started for Michigan, was part of their national championship team until he got hurt. But, that injury might knock him down, a few pegs. But, I think he's a day 3 guy, 4th, 5th round that can, really bring him quality. And some people said, looking at him, he might be a 10-year starter. Yeah, it's guys like these that really make or break your roster. Trevor Wallace, a athletic linebacker, he's kind of like a Devin White light because, runs in the, the low 4 or 5s, I believe. I believe in maybe he can break 4-4 potentially, but athletic guy, can do everything. Run defender, blitzer. How is he in coverage? I think he's decent, adequate, but he's an athlete out there. So a second tier guy that I probably wouldn't mind having on the athletics freaks list. So jump, run, 22 miles per hour. He's fine, man, out there. He reminds me of the Kansas City linebackers, Willie Gay and Bolton. I'd love to have a guy like that on the roster. We do have one that we didn't draft in Devin White, but to bring in a guy in the fold and have him be cost controlled, that's how I would love for the next 4 years. Someone we can hold on to until we have to draft the next linebacker. Chop Robinson, and just the athleticism speaks for itself. 6'3", 254, ran at 4.4, 4.47. That's ridiculous. But him, he's most likely gonna go first. I would say he probably has a chance to actually go high second, but I don't think we're gonna be in the running for him then. And still, we don't have a pick there. We have picks 50th and 53rd overall, so we're not gonna be looking to bring him in because he's gonna be gone by the time we select. But he'd be nice to have, man, coming off the edge. But it'd be kind of a damning indictment if we draft him in the first round. He's so similar to Nolan Smith that it's kind of like instead of being an insurance policy, it'd be more like a replacement plan. Seems a threat to him. Don't know much about Travis Glover, but I do love those measurables, man. And he played 59 games. Love guys who have a high snap count, snap count / high number of starts in college. Might be a priority for agent, but I think he's got some size on him. Jeff, get on him. A lot of people love this guy. I don't know. There's something about him I just don't like. I get that he's a technician, but it's not even purely the concern about his injury history with him having to take a year off, and he almost gave up on football. He was medically cleared to be medically cleared, but he had a career-threatening neck injury. But just so on him. But he does have good measurables and such. And he has so many pass rush moves. But first round pick, I don't think we should waste it on a guy like this. He's not a generational talent, and he could. Yeah, his floor is low, but his ceiling is as well for me. I think it pans out like that. Anyways, Brandon Coleman, O-lineman, TCU, 6'4", 313. Most likely going to slide in his guard as well. You like him for those measurables. I think he's a bit of an athlete. So getting guys like that on the third day value pickups. Brendan Rice, he's decent. I don't think he's going to be as explosive. He definitely not as his father, but I think he carved out a nice niche as a number 4 who could, potentially graduate to number 3 and potentially number 2. Who knows where his ceiling is, but big, strong, contested catch guy. Man, you need guys like that in the league. Christian Mahogany, guard, Boston College, 6'3", 314. So the more I see it, the more I'm like, we should just wait, I think, to get a guy and let Jeff Stoutland pick a guy that he likes. Returning from a torn ACL, so his stock is gonna be coming in low. And yeah, just like I said, just let Jeff pick a handful of guys, interior, and some a tackle or 2 as well that that don't have to be the perfect gems, but diamonds in the rough is what we're looking for, and just we can expend our capital elsewhere and really look to find the best value. Tyler Guyton, not much needs to be said. Look at the measurables: 6'8", 322. Would be a Lane Johnson dream pick. Probably a hand pick for him to be his successor. But are we going to spend that high of a pick on a tackle? I wouldn't be against it, but we have other fish to fry. But if he's, and I don't think he's going to be able to cross over, from guard and then go to tackle. Cooper DeJean, 6'1", 203. I think he goes in the first round, but I don't think he's on the radar. I think if he slipped somewhere in the second round, we'd be willing to pick him up. But he can't play safety, but you're not going to try to draft a safety that high. All right, anyways, back on to draft prospects, ranking the top 10 biggest potential steals of the 2024 NFL draft. I just said top 10 because it just sounds better. Anyways, we made a lot of crossover here. Dalvin Hooker, I like him, but as a move guy, I don't think we need that. I think we need a guy who's more of an inline, can be a dual threat, and I like I like his talent there, but he's more of a lighter guy. But yeah, day 3 value could be too hard to pass up. This guy I really like though, Jacob Cowing. It reminds me of Tank Dell. His size, he's 5'8", $168, ran out 4.38, so blazing speed. And Tank really showed last year that size isn't the end all be all. Maybe could be had in the 4th, 5th round and be a slot machine. You know what I'm saying? So I do prefer him a bit bigger, but messing with that speed, man. I love Xavier Worthy, but I think he goes too far for us to be worthy of picking him up. But if we did, I'd be ecstatic. Johnny Dixon, a guy who slipped last year, was seen as one of the top cornerbacks coming in. And he's now in that 2nd, 3rd tier. Probably I would say 3rd. Good measurables, 5'10", $188. I don't know. He runs in the 40. I imagine he runs in the 4.4, 4.5 range, which is fast enough. But you get a guy who's hungry, looking to redeem himself, to prove that his stock, tanked for the wrong reasons. But he has 3 picks over the past couple of years. Teams probably test him, so I'll be looking to bring him in and see. Mike Hilton liked would be a nice guy to have. Javon Solomon coming off the edge there, or Troy, a smaller school guy, decent 4.72. I don't know what the size is, but one of these guys that we can look to get later in the draft. Maybe 4th round. Potentially he might go in the 3rd, but there's a couple guys that are jockeying there to see if they can bring that stock up just a little bit to make more money. But someone to keep your eye on. Malik Washington, a guy I really do like, 1,400 yards last year out of Virginia, ran a 4.4, 5'8", but he's a $190. He's super solid, and I'd love him as a wide receiver 4 and start out, and then graduate to a 3. Give us a guy in the slot who could just put in work, and also be on the outside so that AJ Brown and Devonta Smith can come into the interior in the slot and do some work like they did last year. Shion Vaki, I mean, he's a very good athlete. Had some carries last year, 7.5 a carry, and caught 11 passes for 203, so explosive as well. Do it all guy, not gonna be two-way in the league. Yeah, those guys are done, but that shows you his athleticism, and on special teams he could definitely be a good returner. He has a build for it. Tanner Bortolini here, I thought he was a center, so I'm like, be interested to see what he can be. Can play guard as well. So you got another guy, versatility. The more you can do, the better for your chances to stick on a roster, make a roster, and as well as ingratiate yourself to the franchise and make you invaluable. So we'll see where he slots in. But a day 3 guy, I take my chances on him. That's we just covered him already. Luke McCaffrey, former quarterback. Ran a 4.46. Yeah, definitely. He's athletic. A bigger guy. I think he's like 6'2", 208, so in that range. Would love to have him. Hard worker. I would love to see what kind of threat he can develop into a receiver. So 5th round, if he can be had, would love to pick him up. And Devontae Walker, kind of a tease. Ran a 4.36 at 6'2". He's like in a 205, maybe 210 pound range, so a bigger guy. But he can fly, absolutely. But you got to show more consistency. He's a guy who's hot and cold, and has yet to really turn it on. But some of those guys, their best careers could be had at the the pro level, because they find someone who can coach and pull that dog up out of them or put it in them, build upon that, and they just run. They hit the ground running. All right, 6 prospects that raised the 2024 NFL draft stock. So let's look at the guys on the list. I like a lot of these guys, man. Malik Neighbor, not going to be in the neighborhood when we draft for him, though. 6'1", $199, ran a 4.34. Fastish, 4.35. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'd love to have him, but he's gonna be far gone. Guy I'm interested in though, Northern Iowa, D lineman Christian Boyd, squatty guy. 6'2", 317, but he can play. He can play the interior D tackle, so he can definitely. You can see him being a third to fourth round pick. Someone's gonna need a player, man. And a smaller school guy, but he didn't embarrass himself at the All-Star games for the senior guys. Hey, man, I'd love to see him do some work, but I don't think we're in the market for him. We might be in the market for this guy though. Western Kentucky receiver Malachi Corley. Heard that he's a slot machine, and he's got Debo comparable to Debo Samuel, 5'11", 215, ran in the mid 4.4s. Hey, man, I'm starting to check him out. So the numbers were there. I always kind of liked him. I thought he had worse size, but just a solid guy, man. Just look at that. Look at that build. He could be a threat. So I'd love to bring him here to Philly. Memphis running back Blake Watson could be drafted to replace another Memphis guy, and who's Fletcher Cox's cousin that we have on the roster, running back. I'm forgetting his name, but he's like 5'8", $194, so a little bit on the lighter side, but he can maybe be our third down back. In Memphis, yeah, they've been pushing out running backs, talented. Tony Pollard, Antonio Gibson, and our guy, who I can't remember, Kenneth Gainwell. Damn. All right, LSU D lineman Jordan Jefferson could be great value. No Walmart, and later rounds, 3-16, ran into 4.8s, man, just beautiful. So 4.9, but great for that size. And I think he just physical, bring your lunch pail kind of guy, and has some talent, athleticism. So he's put that on tape. Day 3, but yeah, man, that would be a hell of a value pick for us. Obviously, I keep forgetting that it's not just rounds 4 to 7. No, it is, but it used to be day 2 pick. Anyways, all right, Beanie Bishop. I think this could be a slot defender. He's like a $184, maybe 5'10", so not very built for the position at safety, but guy can also be a returner, 14.9, so he has that elusive speed element, but slighter frame. All right, and last but not least, one trade that could help the Eagles really at one position. All right, so we're looking at the Eagles bringing in D lineman Greg Gaines, and he was getting into Jalen's face last year when we faced him, but 27 years old, so elder statesman, and we're kind of devoid of veteran, or like I'd say true and tried veteran leadership, because we do have Milton Williams. He's in his 4th year in the league, but that being said, he's this guy would be a 6 or 7 year vet, and he had a career best in 21-22, 8.5 sacks. So he can push the pile. And I love him as a guy who can just rein in those younger guys, teach him all he has to know, and just bring that veteran presence, which would be sorely missed if Fletcher Cox been out of the building. And you love a guy like this who sets the tone, kind of lets them know how to be professionals, and just leads by example. So we'll get up out here on that note, but you're not even watching though, but it's all good because I love making these videos and I love talking about the Eagles. So we'll chunk the deuces officially, but as always, it's fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.